Welcome back to the next session of theoretical distributions. Now I am introducing continuous probability distribution. We have normal distribution coming under this category. So let us see the properties of normal distribution. Normal distribution. Normal distribution is a continuous probability distribution. Continuous probability distribution. Second one, it is also known as Gaussian probability distribution. Gaussian probability distribution. It is also known as Gaussian probability distribution. The probability density function is given by the probability density function. The probability density function is given by probability of x is equal to e power minus 1 by 2 x minus mu whole square x minus mu by standard deviation whole square e power minus 1 by 2 x minus mu by sigma whole square divided by 2 pi under root into standard deviation, comma, minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity, minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity, minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity. The curve is having maximum probability. The curve is having maximum probability at x is equal to mu. The curve is having maximum probability at x is equal to mu. So when I replace x is equal to mu, it is e power minus 1 by 2 mu minus mu divided by sigma whole square. You have to read it as mu, population mean, mu. So this is e power 0 divided by 2 pi under root into sigma. This is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root into sigma. Maximum probability is obtained by using this formula 1 by 2 pi under root into sigma. If I know the standard deviation, I can calculate maximum probability. So first note down these 3 points. Next point. Normal distribution is biparametric. Normal distribution is biparametric distribution. Biparametric distribution, and the two parameters are mean and variance. Normal distribution is a biparametric distribution and the two parameters are mean and variance. Next, the shape of a normal curve. The shape of a normal curve. The shape of a normal curve is a famous bell-shaped curve. The shape of a normal curve is a famous bell-shaped curve. This way. This is x is equal to mu. X is a variable, sir. Mu is equal to me. The shape of a normal curve is a famous bell-shaped curve. Next point. The curve is having line of symmetry at x is equal to mu. The curve is having line of symmetry at x is equal to mu. What does it mean actually? If I fold this curve on this line, this side will coincide with this side. Again I am repeating this point. The curve is having line of symmetry at x is equal to mu. What does it mean actually? If I fold this curve on this line, this side will coincide with this side. That is, the curve is having same shape on either side of the line. On either side of the line at x is equal to mu. The curve is having same shape on either side of the line at x is equal to mu. Next point. Total area. Total area under the normal curve is 1. So, the area to the left of the ordinate as well as to the right of the ordinate as well as to the right of the ordinate is 0.5. So this side area is 0.5, this side area is 0.5. Total 0.5 plus 0.5, 1 is the total area under the normal curve. It is not only normal curve but also for any probability distribution curve, total area is 1. Means for a binomial distribution, total area is 1. For a Poisson distribution, total area is 1. Okay, note down these 3 points also. Next point. Because of symmetry, mean is equal to median is equal to mode for a normal distribution. Because of symmetry, mean is equal to median is equal to mode. All the three values are same. Next, the shape of a normal curve. The shape of a normal curve is dependent on the value of standard deviation. The shape of a normal curve is dependent on the value of standard deviation. Normal curve is a unimodal curve. Normal curve is a unimodal curve. What does it mean actually, sir? Recollect your memory. Binomial distribution may have one mode or two modes. It means binomial distribution may be unimodal or bimodal, depending upon the value of n plus 1 into p. In the same manner, Poisson distribution may be unimodal or bimodal, depending upon the value of m. As far as normal distribution is concerned, unimodal distribution. Normal distribution is unimodal. It means there is only one value at which probability is maximum. There is only one value at which probability is maximum. Next, x-axis is an asymptote. X-axis is an asymptote to the normal curve. X-axis is an asymptote to the normal curve. What does it mean actually? Look at this. This is the normal curve we have. Now, the tails of the normal curve runs parallel to the x-axis. The tails of the normal curve, both the sides, it is running parallel to the x-axis, but it will never touch the x-axis. The tails of a normal curve, they are running parallel to the x-axis, but it will never touch the x-axis. That is the meaning of asymptote. Look at this. After running parallel to the x-axis for some distance, all of a sudden the curve changes its shape here. Up to this point, the curve is running parallel to the x-axis. Then it is changing its shape. In the same manner, after running parallel to this one again, look at this. Probability is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. After reaching this particular point, again it is running parallel to the x-axis. These are called points of inflection. These are called points of inflection. So next point is points of inflection to the normal curve. Normal curve is x is equal to mu plus or minus sigma. Points of inflection to the normal curve is x is equal to mu plus or minus sigma. Mean plus sigma on one side, mu minus sigma on other side. This way you will get. Note down these 4 points, 5 points also. Next, for a normal distribution, quartile deviation QD is equal to 2 by 3 of standard deviation. For a normal distribution, quartile deviation QD is equal to 2 by 3 of SD. Mean deviation MD, this is equal to 4 by 5 of standard deviation. Quartile deviation is equal to 5 by 6 of mean deviation. Range is equal to 6 into standard deviation. CV, coefficient of variation is equal to standard deviation over mean into 100. Standard deviation over mean into 100. Next, upper quartile Q3 is equal to mu plus 0.6745 into standard deviation. Lower quartile Q1 is equal to mu minus 0.6745 into standard deviation. Upper quartile is equal to mu plus 0.6745 into standard deviation. Lower quartile Q1 is equal to mu minus 0.6745 into standard deviation. Next, most important point for normal distribution is area property. Area property. These points you have to remember. This area property you will understand when I do the practical problems. Don't worry about all the terminology I am using here. Right now, quartile deviation is denoted by QT. And when I know the standard deviation, it is calculated as 2 by 3 into SD. This way you learn. Next classes, coming classes, you will get averages, dispersion. That time I will discuss in detail about these things. Area property. When Z is equal to plus or minus 0.6745. Area under normal curve. So when the calculated value of Z is equal to plus or minus 0.6745, 50% of the area is covered under the normal curve. When Z is equal to plus or minus 1, 68.26% area is covered under the normal curve. Next, when Z is equal to plus or minus 1.96, 95% or 0.95 area is covered under the normal curve. When Z is equal to plus or minus 2, 95.44% area is covered under the normal curve. When Z is equal to 2.58 plus or minus, 99% area is covered under the normal curve. When Z is equal to plus or minus 3, 99.73% area is covered under the normal curve. or you can say 0.9973. 0.9973. All these points also mentioned in your study material at the end of the chapter by the name summary. All these points are given one after another in your study material also. This is given in, these points are given in page number 17.36. 17.36 of ICAI material. Open that one. These points are available except this area property. In the ICAI material, 1, 2, 3, only 3 values are given. 3 more values I added from my side to give some additional information about normal curve. When you know this, we can go for problems. Okay, like binomial distribution and Poisson distribution, my problems under normal distribution are also divided into 2 categories. First one is the calculations which are based on mean and standard deviation. That is, when mean and standard deviation are given, how to calculate a quartile deviation, how to calculate mean deviation, how to calculate range, how to calculate coefficient of variation, how to calculate Q3, how to calculate Q1, and points of inflection also. This is one type of problem, or you can say these are one category of problems. Second category of problems in which I have to calculate probability. For that, some pictorial representation, imaginary figures we have to draw. Fine. In that particular case, these points will come. Those are for calculation of probabilities. So whether it is binomial distribution, or it is a Poisson distribution, or it is a normal distribution, only 2 categories of problems you have. One type of problems which are based on parameters, another type of problems which are based on probability mass function to be used to find the probabilities. So second category problems, probabilities. Okay, so note down these things, then I'll go for the problems. Do one more time practice, you'll get it very clear. Now look at the question number 16, set B, page number 17.44. Up to question number 15, problems are related to binomial distribution and Poisson distribution. So this is the first problem I have for a normal distribution. Let us see how the question is given and what is required to calculate. Now, the probability density function. The probability density function. The probability density function of a normal curve is given by P of x is equal to e power minus x minus 10 whole square by 36 divided by 2 pi under root into 4 for minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity. Minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity. This is my question. And in the ICAI material, only one part, calculate coefficient of variation. This is asked. but I am doing all the calculations for practicing. When probability density function is given in this manner, you have to see whether it is in the standard format or not. What is the standard format we have? P of x is equal to e power minus 1 by 2 into x minus mu divided by sigma whole square whole divided by 2 pi under root into standard deviation. This is the standard format of the normal distribution. Now, standard deviation, mean, x, all these three variables are inside the brackets, and for that it is root. So first, the given probability density function should be converted into standard form. So how I am writing, sir? E power minus, this is x minus 10 whole square by 36 can be written as, sorry, it is 72. Hmm, 32. So I can write it as 2 into 16, x minus 10 whole square by 32 given in the problem. So this 32 can be written as 2 into 16 divided by 2 pi under root into 4 e power, this I am writing minus 1 by 2 minus 2 is in the denominator anyway, I am writing minus 1 by 2. I will take 16 inside the brackets. So when I take 16 inside the brackets means first I have to take root for that. So 4. So take 4 inside, then it is square. Divided by 2 pi under root into 4. 2 pi under root into 4. Now compare these two. These are in standard format. So the two parameters are mean is equal to 10. Standard deviation is equal to 4. The two parameters of the normal distribution. The two parameters of the normal distribution, mean is equal to 10 and standard deviation is equal to 4. So first question, quartile deviation. Quartile deviation is equal to 2 by 3 into standard deviation. 2 by 3 into standard deviation is 4. So this is 8 by 3. Mean deviation, MD, is equal to 4 by 5 into standard deviation. So this is 4 by 5 into 4, 16 by 5. Next, range is equal to 6 into standard deviation, 6 into 4, 24. Next, coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation, CV. In short, it is known as standard deviation over mean into 100. So standard deviation is 4, mean is 10 into 100, 40%. It is always expressed percentage wise. Coefficient of variation is always expressed percentage wise. Now fifth point, points of inflection. X is equal to mu plus sigma. So 10 plus 4, 40. X is equal to mu minus sigma. 10 minus 4, 6. Now Q3 is equal to mu plus 0.6745 into standard deviation, 10 plus 0.6745 into 4. Q1 is equal to mu minus 0.6745 into standard deviation. So this is 10 minus 0.6745 into 4. 0.6745 into 4, 2.698. 2.698 plus 10, 12.698. Now this is 10 minus 2.698, 7.302. This way you have to do the calculations. But remember, in the exam they'll ask you only one point. Either it is quartile deviation or mean deviation or range or CV. Otherwise points of inflection, otherwise Q3, Q1. Okay. So this is a full-fledged problem under normal distribution. Means the calculations which are based on parameters. Beyond this, there is no problem at all. Seventeenth question. Now the probability density function. The probability density function of a normal curve is given by a P of x is equal to e power minus x minus 10 whole square by 72 divided by 72 into pi under root, comma, minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity. This is question number 17. Okay. Now what is required for me? Only one value as per ICA material, but it is a classroom problem, bete. So we need some calculations. So I am doing all the calculations once again. Before I am going to do the calculations, I have to put the given probability density function in standard format. So let us see that standard format. P of x is equal to e power minus x minus 10 whole square by 2 into 36 divided by 2 into 36 into pi under root. So e power minus 1 by 2 x minus 10 by 6 whole square divided by, if I take root for 36 it will become 6, 2 pi under root, minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity, minus infinity less than x, x less than infinity. So now it is in standard form. Mean is equal to 10, standard deviation is 6. These are the two parameters of normal distribution. This symbol sigma is for standard deviation. This symbol sigma stands for standard deviation. So first question beta, quartile deviation is 2 by 3 into standard deviation. 2 by 3 into 6, it will go 2 times 4. Mean deviation is equal to 4 by 5 into standard deviation, 4 by 5 into 6, 24 by 5. Next, third one, range is equal to 6 into standard deviation, 6 into 6, 36. 6 into 6, 36. Fourth one, coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation, CV, is equal to standard deviation over arithmetic mean into 100. Standard deviation is 6, arithmetic mean is 10 into 100. This is 60%. This is 60%. Question number 5. Question number 5. Points of inflection. Points of inflection. X is equal to mu plus sigma. 10 plus 6, 16. X is equal to mu minus sigma. 10 minus 6, 4. Points of inflection also calculated. Sixth one. Q3 is equal to mu plus 0.6745 into standard deviation. Mu means 10 plus 0.6745 into 6. Q1 is equal to mu minus 0.6745 into standard deviation. This is 10 minus 0.6745 into 6. 0.6745 into 6, 4.047. 10 plus 4.047, 14.047. 10 minus 4.047. 10 minus 4.047 is equal to 5.953. Okay. See, when you are watching this video, do the calculations from your side using calculator. Don't copy paste my values. Find better. Note down the solution. Now look at the 18th question. For a normal distribution, how it is given in the study material? These are the two parameters, mu for mean, sigma square for variance. For a normal distribution, Q1 is equal to 14.6. Q3 is equal to 25.4. Find standard deviation. Standard deviation. Okay. You have to calculate standard deviation. Why one value we can calculate both, mean also. Look at this bit. Q3 is equal to mu plus 0.6745 into standard deviation. Q1 is equal to mu minus 0.6745 into standard deviation. This is 25.4, this is 14.6. When I subtract one from the other, 2 times 0.6745 into standard deviation is equal to 25.4 minus 14.6. So So 10.8. So standard deviation is 10.8 divided by 2 into 0.6745, 1.349. So this is 10.8 divided by 1.349. This is 8.0059 approximated to 8. Standard deviation is obtained. Now mu is equal to, take this value to the other side, 25.4 minus 0.6745 into standard deviation. 25.4 minus 0.6745 into 8 into 0.6745, 5.39. This is 25.4 minus 5.39999. I am making 5.4 minus 25.4, 20. So mean is equal to 20, standard deviation is equal to 4. When these two values are calculated, you can do any problem under normal distribution. Okay, note down the solution. Next, question number 19. For a normal distribution, MD is equal to 16. QD is equal to question mark. MD is equal to 16, QD is equal to question mark. We have a straightforward relation. QD is equal to 5 by 6 of MD. QD is equal to 5 by 6 of MD. So this is 5 by 6 into 16. Five into 16 is equal to divided by 6, 13.33. 13.33. This is the answer. In the ICA material, it is printed as 13.50. That is only a print mistake. Next, look at the question number 20. The points of inflection. The points of inflection of a normal curve. Are 40 and 60 respectively. Then MD is equal to question mark. MD is equal to question mark. Okay, very simple, sir. Look at this. Points of inflection. Mu plus sigma is equal to 60. Mu minus sigma is 40. 2 times mean is equal to 100. Mean is equal to 50. Mu plus sigma is 60. Sigma is 60 minus mu. So standard deviation is obtained as 10. MD is equal to 4 by 5 into standard deviation. 4 by 5 into 10, it will go 2 times 8. Mean deviation is equal to 8. But in the study material, Instead of giving MD value, they have printed mean value. So don't get any confusion as far as options are concerned. Okay? Mean value is printed instead of SD. Sorry, instead of MD. MD value is equal to 8. Mean is equal to 50. Fine. So remaining part of the problems I'll take up in the next session. Thank you.